Me, 25, work from home as a freelance graphic designer, live alone in a small apartment, pretty isolated, don't have many friends, moved to this city 2 years ago for a job that fell through, stayed because moving again seemed too hard, been feeling lonely lately, really lonely, start talking to myself sometimes. Just normal stuff, right? Everyone does that. Except it's getting more frequent and more elaborate. One day, working on a project, stuck on a design problem, say out loud, "I don't know which color palette to use." Then, in a different voice, higher pitched, "The blue one, it's more accessible." Did I just answer myself? In a different voice? That's weird. Shake it off. Use the blue palette. Client loves it. Week. Doing dishes. Thinking about taking a break. Say, should I watch something or keep working? Different voice again. You should keep working. Procrastination is just capitalism's way of making you feel guilty for rest. That's oddly specific and not something I'd normally think. Start paying attention to this. The voice has opinions, strong opinions, particularly about social justice stuff, which I care about, but not like this. This voice is intense. One evening, eating dinner alone, voice says, "You know, eating meat is participating in systemic violence against animals." I'm eating chicken. I know, I just like chicken. That's cognitive dissonance. You should examine that. I'm arguing with myself now. This is concerning, but also kind of nice. Having someone to talk to, even if it's me. Start happening more frequently. The voice develops a personality. She's critical, opinionated, passionate, cares deeply about feminism and social justice, calls out problematic behavior, mine specifically. Give her a name in my head, Alexandra, because it sounds sophisticated, and she seems sophisticated, in a judgmental way. 2 months of this. Alexandra is now a constant presence. Morning coffee. Did you know coffee beans are harvested through exploitation? Getting dressed. Fast fashion is destroying the planet. Watching TV. This show has 0 female representation in the writer's room. She's exhausting. But I keep talking to her because being lonely is worse. One day, on a video call with a client, they're being difficult, asking for the 5th revision. After the call, I'm frustrated. Say out loud, "That was ridiculous, Alexandra." Maybe you're not communicating your value effectively. Women often undersell themselves. I'm not a woman. No, but you're internalizing patriarchal capitalism by devaluing your labor. She's got an answer for everything. Start wondering if this is normal. Google, is it normal to have conversations with yourself? Results say yes. Internal dialogue is healthy, but this feels different. This feels like another person. Decide, I should probably talk to someone. Real someone, not imaginary feminist voice. Book appointment with therapist. Her name's Dr. Chun. First session is next week. Tell Alexandra about it. Good. Therapy is important. Make sure you find someone who's trauma-informed and intersectional. I'm not looking for anything specific, just someone to talk to. Everyone has specifications. It's about finding the right fit. You're very opinionated for someone who doesn't exist. I exist in your consciousness. That's a form of existence. Can't argue with that logic. Appointment day arrives. Dr. Chun's office is calm. Lots of plants. She's mid-40s, kind face, professional.
Hi, I'm Dr. Chun. What brings you in today?
I've been feeling isolated. I work from home, don't have many friends, and I think I might be coping in weird ways.
What kind of ways?
Hesitate. This is embarrassing. I've been talking to myself.
That's very common. Nothing to worry about.
No, I mean like conversations with a voice that isn't quite me. She writes something down.
Can you tell me more about this voice?
She has opinions. Yeah, it's a woman's voice, higher than mine, more assertive.
Does this voice have a name?
Pause. I call her Alexandra. More writing.
And what does Alexandra talk about?
Mostly feminist stuff. Social justice, systemic oppression. She's very concerned about problematic behavior.
Yours or others?
Mine, mostly. She calls me out on things.
Like what?
Like eating meat or watching shows without diverse representation, or not standing up to difficult clients. How do you feel when she says these things? Guilty, usually, but also less lonely. Dr. Chun is very still. Her expression hasn't changed, but something shifted. How long has Alexandra been around? About 2 months. And before that, I talked to myself sometimes, but it was just me. Now it feels like someone else. Does Alexandra ever tell you to do things? Not really tell, more like suggest. What kind of suggestions? Like I should be vegan or quit my job and do meaningful work, or that I should call out my family for their problematic views. Have you done any of those things? Some. I did go vegetarian for a week, but then I got really tired and went back to eating meat. Alexandra was disappointed. Dr. Chun sets down her pen. I want to ask you something, and I need you to be honest with me. Okay. Are you safe? Question throws me. Safe from what? Are you having thoughts of hurting yourself or others? What? No. Has Alexandra ever suggested violence? No. She's about social justice, not violence. Dr. Chun looks relieved, but still concerned. I'm going to be direct with you. What you're describing sounds like it could be an auditory hallucination or a dissociative identity developing. Oh no. You think I'm crazy? I think you're experiencing something that needs attention. It's not uncommon in cases of extreme isolation. The brain can create companionship when it's lacking. Feel defensive suddenly. Alexandra isn't a hallucination. She's just... Trail off. She's just what? My imaginary friend at 25. She's a coping mechanism, I finish. Yes, likely. But we need to understand why you needed this mechanism and whether it's serving you or becoming problematic. Rest of session is a blur. Questionnaires about my mental health, questions about my childhood. Do I have history of trauma? Family history of mental illness, drug use. Answer everything honestly. No trauma, no family history, no drugs. Just lonely. Really, really lonely. I'd like to see you twice a week, Dr. Chun says, and I'm going to refer you to a psychiatrist for evaluation. You think I need medication? I think we need a full assessment. What you're experiencing could be several things. We need to rule out serious conditions. Leave feeling worse than when I arrived. Get home, sit on my couch. Alexandra, how is therapy? She thinks you're a hallucination. Rude. Alexandra, you're not real. I'm as real as any thought you have. Thoughts don't talk back. Sure they do. It's called internal dialogue. This is different and you know it. Silence. For the first time in 2 months. Complete silence. It's deafening. Alexandra? Nothing. Start to panic. Alexandra, come back! Nothing. Spend the rest of the day in silence. It's what I wanted, right? To not have the voice? But now it's gone and I feel more alone than ever. That night, can't sleep. Keep waiting for Alexandra to comment on something. She always has opinions about my sleep schedule, but nothing. Text my mom at 2 a.m. Do you think I'm going crazy? She calls immediately. What's wrong? Tell her about therapy, about Alexandra, about feeling alone. She's quiet for a long time. Honey, why didn't you tell me you were struggling? I didn't want to worry you. I'm your mother. Worrying is my job. Are you eating, sleeping, going outside? Realize I haven't left my apartment in 4 days. Not really. Okay, I'm coming to visit. Mom, you don't have to. I'm booking a flight. I'll be there Saturday. Feel relief and embarrassment. Need my mom at 25, but also really need my mom. Hang up. Sit in the dark. Alexandra? Your mom sounds nice. She's back. Where did you go? Nowhere. You just stopped listening. Are you really a hallucination? Does it matter? Yes, it matters. Why? Because if you're not real, I'm losing it. And if you are real, I'm still losing it because you're me. Maybe you're not losing it. Maybe you're just adapting to loneliness in a creative way. Want to believe that, but Dr. Chun's face keeps flashing in my mind. That concerned look. Saturday, Mom arrives. She hugs me for a full minute, looks around my apartment. It's messy. I haven't been keeping up. When's the last time you cleaned? I don't know, couple weeks. When's the last time you showered, Mom? I'm serious. Yesterday. It was 3 days ago. She knows I'm lying, but doesn't push. Starts cleaning. I try to help. Sit, I've got this. You shouldn't have to clean my apartment. I'm your mother. This is what I do. Sit and watch her clean. Feel like a child. Alexandra. She's reinforcing learned helplessness. Oh God, she's going to comment on my mom. What? Mom asks. Realize I said that out loud. Nothing. Just thinking about... Hesitate. The voice I told you about. Is she here now? Yeah. What's she saying? That you're reinforcing learned helplessness by cleaning for me. Mom stops, turns to me. Is that what you think or what she thinks? Good question. I don't know anymore. She sits down next to me. Tell me about her. Spend an hour telling Mom about Alexandra, her opinions, her presence, how she started, how sometimes I forget she's not real, how I argue with her, how she's the only company I have. Mom listens without judgment. You know who she sounds like? Mom says. Who? Your college roommate, Sarah. Sarah? Haven't thought about her in years. Sarah was always going to protests, always calling people out, very passionate about feminism. Yeah, she was. You two were close until she transferred schools and you lost touch. Think about it. Sarah did talk like Alexandra. Same cadence, same concerns. You think I'm recreating Sarah? I think maybe you're recreating connection in a form that feels familiar. Huh. That makes sense, actually. Alexandra is quiet. Next therapy session. Bring this up. My mom thinks Alexandra sounds like an old friend. Dr. Chun nods. That's insightful. It's common for the brain to model internal voices on real people, especially people we felt connected to. So I'm not crazy. You're isolated and coping. There's a difference. But this coping mechanism isn't sustainable. Why not? Because Alexandra isn't actually meeting your need for connection. She's a placeholder, and the longer you rely on her, the harder it is to form real connections. Don't want to hear this, but no, it's true. What do I do? We work on building actual social connections while gradually reducing reliance on Alexandra. You can't just make her go away. I could prescribe medication that might stop the voice, but that doesn't solve the loneliness. We need to address the root cause. Spend the next weeks in intensive therapy. Mom stays for 2 of them, forces me to leave the apartment. Coffee shops, parks, grocery stores, basic human interaction. It's exhausting, but also kind of nice. One day at a coffee shop, someone asks if they can share my table. Crowded, nowhere else to sit. Sure. She sits, opens a laptop. We work in silence. After an hour, she closes her laptop. Thanks for sharing your table. No problem. I'm Jess, by the way. I'm here most Saturdays if you want a work buddy. Work buddy? Real person offering real connection. I'm here most Saturdays too. Cool, see you next week. Maybe. She leaves. Alexandra. She seemed nice. Yeah, you should go back next Saturday. I was planning to. Good. You need human contact. You're very supportive for someone who supposedly isn't real. I've always been supportive. You just couldn't hear it through the criticism. Interesting. Next Saturday, go back to the coffee shop. Jess is there, waves me over, work together again. This time, we chat during breaks. She's a writer, also works from home, also gets lonely. It's hard working alone all the time. Yeah, it really is. That's why I come here, force myself to be around people. We exchange numbers. Text me if you want to work together during the week. I will. Have a real friend now. Sort of. Work friend at least. It's a start. Over the next months, build a routine. Coffee shop Saturdays with Jess. Weekly therapy. Mom calls 3 times a week. Start joining online communities for designers. Participate in Discord servers. Actual human interaction. Alexandra becomes quieter. Not gone, but less prominent. Her comments less frequent. More supportive than critical. 6 months into therapy. How's Alexandra? Dr. Chun asks. She's still around, but different. Different how? Less judgmental, I guess. More like a friend than a critic. That's progress. Your internal dialogue is becoming healthier. Will she ever go away completely? Maybe, maybe not. Some people maintain internal voices their whole lives. The question is whether it's helpful or harmful. Right now, is Alexandra helping or hurting? Think about it. Helping. I think she reminds me to take care of myself. Encourages me to maintain friendships, suggests when I need to reach out for help. Then she's serving a purpose. Never thought about it that way. 1 year later. Have regular coffee shop meetings with Jess. Made 2 other friends through a design meetup. Still work from home, but leave the house most days. Mom visits every few months. Alexandra is still there, but integrated. Part of my internal process, not a separate entity. One day, Jess asks about my therapy journey. We've gotten close enough to talk about this stuff. Tell her about Alexandra, about feeling crazy, about learning to build real connections. That's actually really insightful, she says. What is it? Creating an internal voice that pushed you to be better, even if it was maladaptive. It got you to therapy, got you to reach out. I guess I have an internal voice too, she admits. Really? Yeah. Mine's more anxious than critical. Constantly worried about everything. Had to learn to distinguish between helpful worry and spiral worry. Feel less alone suddenly. We're all just talking to ourselves in different ways. Exactly. Alexandra. I like her. Me too. 2 years after that first therapy session. Moved to a new apartment, bigger, in a building with a community space. Know my neighbors, have regular social commitments. Still freelance, but joined a co-working space. Life looks different. Still see Dr. Chun monthly. Maintenance sessions. How are you doing? She asks. Good, actually. Really good. And Alexandra? She's still around, but she's become more like a thought process than a separate voice. Does she still criticize? Sometimes, but now I can tell when it's helpful versus when I'm being hard on myself. That's significant growth. It is. I know it is. But sometimes I miss when Alexandra felt like a real person, when I had someone to talk to always, even if that someone was me. Is it weird that I'm kind of grateful for her, I ask, for Alexandra? Not weird at all. She served a purpose during a hard time, got you help when you needed it. Yeah, I think if she hadn't gotten so prominent, I might not have realized how isolated I was. That's a healthy perspective. Leave therapy feeling good, Meet Jess for dinner. She's become my best friend. Real, actual friend. Not imaginary, not coping mechanism, just friend. How is therapy? Good. Talked about Alexandra. How is your internal feminist? Still around? Less vocal. Mine too, Jess laughs. Wait, you have one? I told you about my anxious voice, but yeah, I also have a feminist one. Points out problematic stuff. Usually helpful, sometimes annoying. We both laugh. We're all just trying to navigate consciousness, she says, with whatever tools we have. Some people journal. We created elaborate internal voices. Is that worse? Maybe more creative. Go home that night, sit on my couch. Much nicer couch than before. And much nicer apartment, with a much better life. Alexandra. You did good. We did good. You remember? Yeah, but it helps to think of you as separate sometimes. Whatever works. Comfortable silence. Not empty silence. Just peaceful. Be me. 28 now. Stable. Social. Healthy. Still talk to myself sometimes. Still have Alexandra, but she's integrated. Part of my internal world, not a replacement for the external one. New client emails. Difficult client. Bad communicator. Start to stress. Alexandra. Remember your boundaries. Your work has value. Don't let them take advantage. Thanks. You're welcome. Handle the client firmly but professionally. They respect it. Think about how 3 years ago Alexandra would have criticized me for not standing up sooner. Now she's supportive, encouraging, almost proud, because she's me, and I'm proud of myself. See Dr. Chun for final maintenance session. Graduating from regular therapy. How does it feel? She asks. Scary, but good. And Alexandra? Still here. Probably always will be. But she's healthy now. She's actually helpful. I'm glad to hear that. When you first told me about her, I was concerned. I know. I remember the "are you safe?" question. Yes, I had to rule out serious conditions, but it became clear pretty quickly. You were just very, very lonely. I was. Not anymore, though. Not anymore. Leave therapy for the last time as a regular patient. Can always come back if needed, but right now, I don't need to. Have tools. Have support. Have real connections. That night, journal about the experience. Alexandra. You should write about this. I am. No, like really write about it. Share it. Other people are lonely too. Other people create coping mechanisms. Maybe it would help them. She's right. Write a blog post about the experience, about isolation, about Alexandra, about recovery. Post it anonymously. Responses flood in. I talk to myself in different voices too. I thought I was the only one. This made me feel less alone. I'm calling a therapist tomorrow. Realize how many people are struggling, how many are isolated, how many have their own Alexandras, just trying to survive. MFW. I created an imaginary feminist friend out of loneliness. MFW, my therapist thought I was hallucinating. MFW, I was just really, really isolated. MFW therapy helped me build real connections. MFW, Alexandra is still here, but healthier. MFW, we're all just consciousness trying to understand itself. MFW, sometimes the weirdest coping mechanisms lead to the best growth. Still talk to myself, still have internal voices, but now I also have external voices, real people who care, real connections that sustain. Alexandra remains, not as a replacement for connection, but as a reminder that even when alone, we're never truly separate from ourselves. And sometimes that's enough to survive.